the Lord set me free. I actually got delivered from smoking. I didn't quit. I got delivered.
I was there.
Involuntarily?
No. Yeah, I went forward to an altar call at a youth camp, and they were like, "Okay, guys,
Cast it out of you?
yeah, bring up your Marilyn Manson records, black lipstick, cigarettes,
Fishnet stockings.
Magazines.
Actually, I'm telling the story of how I actually started smoking. So they had a casket, and all the kids were bringing all their things up. I went up to the casket, and I just started to take some stuff out.
Free cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly. I got a pack of free smokes up there.
the
Players Light regular.
We're
Pastor-
smoking and drinking for free this week.
The youth pastor would take the casket and put it out in the church office like he's at the dentist office and it's the treasure chest.
Yeah, in ours, we filled at our church, we filled up a big oil tank and then welded it shut.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Of contraband?
Yeah, like all the stuff that people were surrendering to God.
Right.
Somebody put their child in there.
Of course they did.
It's actually still in there.
They got confused with a baby dedication
Amish.
and surrendering their sins to God.
And the Amish make that mistake quite often.
They said,
Well, we have 14 of these, and soup's been getting a little thin.
soup's been getting a little thin.
Martin family put another baby in the tank again. Oh, Jeremiah. Well, when we left him at the church, we thought that maybe Pastor Steve would like to
I
have
just
him.
can't churn the butter fast enough these days.
Midnights become my afternoons. Did you guys get up to anything interesting this morning?
Just in general, anybody? I went to
Anyone?
the gym.
Oh,
You went to the gym this morning?
Yeah, I've been going in the mornings.
I much prefer morning.
Yeah, I go at like 7:30. It's empty, dude.
Franklin wakes up at
Same.
like 9:30.
When I go at 7:30.
At night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like going at night because my type of work demands that I use my brain right after I've slept. You know what I mean? Like,
So when you wake up is your best.
Oh,
your first 3 hours of being awake
Oh, that's my best, no question.
your
But there's
best-
certain people that are different than
is your
that.
best mental. Jordan Peterson says you have 3 hours in a day
Of like peak.
of peak,
Yeah.
and it's in the morning. And so afternoons I can't think. You know what I mean? Like afternoons
Right.
are like your meetings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then I just work out when there's no meetings and my brain's fried. So it's just
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah.
I find like I get a better start to my day if I wake up early, go to the gym early, and I feel like by the time I'm showered and I'm ready to work,
Yeah.
like it's like I already have a win under my belt for the day.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
like let's
definitely
let's do this.
No, that's good.
That's fortifying.
Dude, the research though, like the stats are insane for companies that have moved to a 4-day work week, 5-hour days.
No.
Just saying.
We're already less than that.
Productivity.
Yeah, we have one office day.
Yeah. And it's like 2
Yeah.
hours.
And then it's independent study. people would love to work here. How much
No
how much
kidding.
time off did you get last year? Honestly,
off?
Put it off.
Oh, you don't. Well, okay. Well, that's
hold on a second. You're never off,
right.
right?
You
You're
have to be available.
You're always working on stuff. So
Yeah,
let's
and-
just
and-
say that.
okay. How much? Okay.
But let's just say how much were you like
Time away.
not at HQ? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Time off was probably like
I
a
swear.
week where I was just like,
Fair.
don't text me, don't call
Yeah,
me,
not
or anything.
posting, yeah.
Oh, but time away.
Yeah.
2.5 months probably.
More.
3.
At least.
More.
Oh yeah, because I was in Washington a lot.
More. Hey,
Yeah, I was traveling with
thinking,
Nate a lot.
There's no course filming this week, so I was
No,
thinking
traveling with me is not time away. That's your
Well,
your
it's
work.
it's time away.
it was time away from the office. Yeah.
But it's he's working.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this is a good setup,
Oh yeah.
but it's not a good setup.
It's
If you're
not.
the- if you're the
Things
type-
are shifting.
If you're a 9 to 5 person, this is your worst nightmare.
And if
know,
you're a
if you're somebody-
company, this is a bit of a nightmare for a company.
Totally.
Like,
But I reckon though that
but it's great for creatives.
But I reckon that because we are project based, like we just go, okay, we're gonna do this project this month. We're gonna do this project this month.
Yeah.
That's how we it's everybody's strength that we're like
it's
that.
true, but with the management shifts that are sort of impending.
Looming.
What the problem is, we're not financially project based. So then there becomes an issue that our pay structure is our sort of like just like constant based, but our work is project based, and we got to try and figure this out.
Right. You got to mesh the two somehow.
Because the problem is some projects are time heavy or resource heavy, but it doesn't match. And then a lot of seasons, there's not the same amount of projects, but we're still paying. You know what I'm saying?
But I reckon that time. There's two ways to pay somebody. Their value to a project and for their time, and it's not the same thing,
right?
Do you know what I mean? Like for a lawyer makes like $1,000 an hour.
Yeah,
it's like not
concentrated.
Totally not because hourly work is what he's looking for. It's because what he brings to an hour or what he brings to a project.
Highly valuable.
So to me, it's like I don't think that way.
Right, and it's been a strength again for most of the makeup here.
For what we do, I think that it works really well. And the other thing too is, let's be honest, like nobody's getting rich at our company.
No,
do you know what I mean? So the way that we pay people back,
we could be though,
if
we shifted our pay structures.
No, but
well, I mean that's easy to say about anything. If you just worked harder, you'd be rich.
It's not totally true.
If you just had a better idea, then you'd be richer.
But what we do is we pay through time off.
Right.
That's really
flexibility has been a perk.
Exactly. Flexibility is literally one of the perks. So like Chris can literally just be like, "Hey, I'm leaving for 2 weeks, go on ministry trips or just whatever." He keeps doing his job, but he can just go out and earn. You know what I mean? And same with Everett. Like if he needs to go and it's not my fault that he went and hung out with his girlfriend for 3 months. You know what I mean?
What?
But he could.
You can't say that.
Delete that.
Take that out, Frederick.
Everett does not have a girlfriend.
It's a special friend.
A special friend. His special friend. Exactly. He could have been in the mines of Moria. He
was
for
actually
$18 an hour.
I was actually in the diamond mines of Arkansas.
He could have gone to Alberta and work on a rig.
He did that as well.
Oh, I was in Fort McMurray.
Yeah, I made $15,000 last month.
Blew it all.
It cost me my set of bottom teeth because I was chewing the whole time, but I made 15 grand.
Exactly. You could go fish in the Arctic and make 40 grand
or go plant trees up in Thunder Bay.
Yeah, whatever it is, T-Bay.
T-Bay.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what we're talking about here, but
did you guys do anything interesting this morning?
I do nothing.
I did something interesting this morning. I was trying to get you guys to set me a beach ball there.
Nobody cares.
Right.
Dang it. What did you do this morning, Brian?
Did you do anything interesting this morning?
I thought you'd never ask.
Maybe I should tell him from my...
Yeah, okay.
What you did. I called Brian to talk a little business this morning.
Yeah.
He's telling me he's going to keep me on... He's sending me a pin of his location in case he gets kidnapped or gets killed. Like, where are you at? He's down in the ghetto somewhere buying a pair of Air Force Ones.
Are you freaking serious?
Oh my God.
So I drove out into the sticks.
No. Start with looking for Air Force One.
Okay.
So why?
So I want to at some point buy Air Force Ones, real ones, new.
Why? Are you Mike Todd?
No, low top. Like my current shoes, I wear the Court Visions, but I want like the low top.
Brian, they're like
Air Force One?
$110.
I know, but this guy had them for 50. So and I wanted to see if
And where did you find them?
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, so the guy sends me his address.
You were looking for shoes on used shoes.
Yeah, because I want to try them out to see if I like them before I commit to buying new ones. So
you are the most Dutch person I know. Keep going.
And the gas probably to go there was at least $10.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So anyways.
Now you're up to 60. Keep going.
So then I get out here and it's just getting weirder and weirder.
Where were you headed
drive.
towards?
So I headed past Leaper's Fork, just further out towards White Bluff or Dickens or Dixon.
Dickson?
Dickens.
Dixon?
Yeah.
Dixon. So
you start seeing more trailers and less houses?
Yep. And I'm on the phone with Chris. I'm like, okay, actually, I was going to call you anyways. Here's the address where I'm going. If I don't call you back, actually, let's just stay on the line. So I get out or I don't get out of the truck, but I get to this place, the end of the road. There's nowhere to go.
Right.
And I'm at the address. And I wish I took a video. This is so stupid because I tried to get it on Google Maps. You can't see it. And a guy comes out of the house with a robot arm. And
yeah,
he's like,
because he blew it off
Yeah.
like
Tannerite.
messing with dynamite.
Yeah.
Or meth.
No, he definitely a bomb builder.
And he's like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Is Charlie here?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "What? Do you know where Charlie is?" He's like, "No." And I'm like, "Is this 138?" He's like, "No, that's next door." So he goes back in the house. I go down, and there's two guys just like the epitome of where I am.
Right.
Next door to that, just staring me down, and I wave, and they don't wave. They're just like, and so I'm like, "Chris, I'm not doing this. I have a family." So I just drove away, and I didn't get the shoes.
I told Brian to get the shoes that you would later want.
So I have $50 in my pocket, burning a hole.
Burning.
Are you freaking kidding me right now? That is weird.
It was the scariest place it was so shady. Just piles of garbage everywhere. Trailers just falling apart.
Did the associate pastor come out of his house?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
oh my
crazy.
God.
Yeah, so you don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
We're in Tennessee, and
You don't mess with those.
yeah, inbred mountain folk are not where you buy Nikes from.
What do you think is
I
the
blocked him.
scariest?
Oh, he messaged me, and he goes like this. He says, where are you? What are you driving? You're not where I am. You must be at the wrong place. Can I call you? You bullshitting me, bro? And then I just blocked him.
Wow.
Does he have any?
They were nice.
Let's see him.
Just like basic.
Don't you wish you would have just
You are crazy, Brian.
Okay, but here's the thing. You could have bought the Air Force Ones for $110.
Are you sure they're that cheap? I don't think they are.
Yeah, they are the basic ones.
Are they white?
They
or
can't
they
be
tan?
more than $120.
Chris, why is your
oh, shoot.
yeah.
You're right.
It's at the end.
They're 110.
Coming
Yeah.
towards the end.
is that why it's round like that?
Okay, I'm going to
No, because when I do it, I like here. I'll show you. Like when I do it.
Okay, watch this, guys.
Oh,
This is the weirdest. Wait, hold on a second.
yeah.
This is the weirdest looking lip chap I've ever seen.
Yeah,
in my life.
that doesn't
right.
look normal.
No, because
It
it's
does-
supposed to be flat when
No.
it comes
No,
out.
that's
Yes.
not right,
No.
dude.
No way.
Yes.
Zoom in.
No,
Zoom
because
in,
you have to go like
Frederick.
this. Watch.
Zoom in, Frederick.
Oh, he does both lips at once.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't go like this and then this. Or just boom. I'm done. And then hence.
What do you do with all the time you save by doing that?
Write a thesis. When you're writing a thesis, you have to cut a lot of corners.
Yeah. So, but it really is the smartest way of doing it because why do this and then do this when
Well, you're not covering all your lips by doing it your way.
but eventually you see how this has it's poking at this end. So the next time I just instinctively see that and then come in from the throat and it just rounds itself off eventually.
Okay, well,
Strange.
strange.
What do you think is like the scariest kind of like crime syndicate?
What do you mean? Like scare?
Like a scene?
Like
Yeah,
who you
like-
not
like-
want to mess with.
Yeah, like is it like the Yakuza? Is it the Russian mafia? Like is it the Mexican cartels?
Is it the Saudi royals?
like is it
Is it Hillary Clinton's?
Probably.
right,
Yeah.
right. Is it like the crazy don't tread on me guys that are like building pipe bombs in their trailers in Kentucky? You know what I mean?
Is it
Right.
is it like the Crips?
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty
There's
dangerous.
Bloods.
I have a feeling like it might be like one of the cartels, like the.
Because they're pretty savage.
I think
totally.
I think the Mexican cartels are like the most brutal.
Yeah.
I don't think you could trust.
And there's a lot of
the Mexican
corruption there.
cartels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, for example, like I feel like you might be able to negotiate something with the Russians.
Right. They'll do anything
like
to
the
make a smart
Crips,
play.
or- you know what I mean? Exactly. It's like they're greedy. They want stuff. I feel like the cartels are a little bit like
There's too much corruption
There's
in there. You
crazy.
can't trust anyone.
They're a bit jihadist. They're like they're the jihad of cartels.
Which just means passion, right?
Yeah, passion
Struggle.
or a focus to struggle.
It's struggle. Yeah, that's all it means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably the cartel.
Yeah. Usually when I fly on an airplane, we're like, oh, what do you know? So
Frederick, take this next
where,
bit out.
where are you headed today, Mr. Finocchio? It's like, oh, I'm doing a jihad. Oh,
We've
what is
already-
it?
dude,
well, traveling
this
is my
already got
struggle.
cut from
we've
our
already,
last
we've already
episode.
done this bit. We've already done this bit. Make new content.
It's still funny.
Actually, I have an uncle that's a missionary in Mexico. I mean, like he's a pastor in Mexico.
Oh.
And he came back and he was talking to us about how this like small town that he lives in Sinaloa, that he has a church in. And he was talking about like how the cartel came and took the town over. And there's like this turf war between the military and the cartel. And the cartel won, like the military backed off, and we're like, oh, wow, that's crazy. That's horrible. He's like, no, it's actually great. Like everybody wants the cartels to win the turf wars because the cartels come in and they don't actually, like they don't want trouble if you haven't crossed them. So they come in and they build churches, they build schools, they build infrastructure in the town. Like they feed people because they just want
they want no trouble.
Just shut up and live your life.
Look the other way.
And look the other way. But the military comes in and the police come in and they're all corrupt. And they take from the church, they take from the schools, they bring the cartel in for fights. He's like, it's way better.
Oh, who was
pastoring
it
in a town?
Dude, Luke, who was just in town, told us that he was in Mexico. Luke Schnauzel.
Luke Snowy.
He was in Mexico for 2 weeks last year, and he was walking outside in Mexico City at 1 a.m. and cops came, said, you have drugs, you have drugs, you have drugs. Searched his fanny pack, took all his cash, and left.
So my experience with Mexico City is quite different. I never saw it as bad. I'm not bad, but I didn't have any danger there when I was there.
It's because you don't look like a Wado.
Yeah, I mean, Luke's got like an English accent. Like they know he doesn't know what he's doing.
I love Mexico City.
You look poor.
That's true. That's what they tell me.
You know that's why it works. Have you ever seen like a guy from like Africa or India who like comes over to America and they always wear those really tight polos?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, yes, I'm wearing Western clothes. I'm blending in. It's like you're not blending in, bro.
Yeah. It's like, but it's U.S. Polo Association from Walmart.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. Chris,
it's like,
Chris has got a couple of those
size
polos.
small or extra.
He's got a couple of those polos that he needs to not wear.
I actually just bought U.S. Polo Association, and it's in my drawers. I love it. Actually, it's not even that. It's Walmart brand, and I will be honest. Walmart has the best sweatpants of all time. The best, like.
Hey, I buy clothes from Walmart. I don't care. I got t-shirts.
I got the matching suits.
I currently buy clothes from Walmart.
I'm wearing Walmart.
I went to Walmart to buy clothes 2 weeks ago, and I was in my cart, and I'm like, I have way too much clothes right now for Walmart, because Walmart, you're looking to pick up an item, and I bought one item, I bought another item.
Dude, I would way rather shop at Walmart for clothes than Target, because Walmart has like workwear, which is in right now, so you can get like a pair of Dickies carpenter jeans.
Totally. It's true.
But Target, if you buy clothes from Target, now I look like I'm going to work in a cubicle and I'm calling it a tech startup. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And it's like the faded wash jeans, and it's like a fitted button-up shirt with like little polka dots.
Have you ever noticed that like all those guys from Africa and India that I'm talking about, they have the jeans that are like all like ripped, and like dyed on the front,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're dyed white in the front, right? And they've got a polo on, and they got that. It's like not acid. What's it called?
Distressed.
Distressed.
Yeah.
But it's like too distressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, because Stonewash is cool. Because Stonewash is like 80s, and that's cool.
And they always have an AK-47.
Where are you hanging out?
No, I'm talking about when you see them in their natural habitat.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, all the times you've been to Pakistan.
But then they come over to America and they still have the same. There's just no AK.
There's just no AK.
Yeah.
Pakistan is in the bag.
Pakistan is in the bag.
In the bag.
When's the last time you wore jeans? Each person.
I guess what I'm trying to say is it's like the Americanization, or it's globalization, right? It's
Western
like,
the Western.
Totally. So it's like they're like wearing these what they believe to be Western clothes, but it's like it's not Western, or it's like 10 years behind.
Dude, that's so true, because Chris dresses like he's everywhere but America.
That's true.
If you go to Brazil and you got the little dress shoes with no socks, fits right in. Italy fits right in.
Totally.
Saudi Arabia fits right in.
Totally.
America,
all the high class places, right?
Yes, exactly. I will say this, but
like
he's got good
school merch.
But he's got these. But he's got the difference is he's got these pieces that are like, for example, like Alabama or Detroit
Oh,
or Michigan
sports
State.
teams. Sports
Yeah.
teams.
He's got
He gets
sports
from
ones.
grocery
and that's
stores.
when he looks like it's like,
He
oh,
works.
you are
That
American.
works.
You are
Yeah.
American.
Yeah.
You're in Tennessee. That
And
makes
then he's
sense.
like, okay, I'm gonna. Okay, Chris, we're going out for dinner tonight. He's like, okay, I'm gonna look nice. And then he goes, and then he puts on his tight polo, and he. Oh my god!
I love you, Chris.
I
Don't
will
ever
say your
change.
style.
Don't
I
ever
have
change.
seen some
Don't ever
changes in your style that I've appreciated.
Really?
Like you've got some nice sneakers.
Yeah.
He does
Couple
have some
pairs.
nice sneakers.
Yeah.
Sneakers. You do have nice sneakers.
And I
Thank
liked
you.
your one jacket, your pullover.
Which one?
It looks cool. You've got a nice one.
you got some good bomber jackets
yeah.
too.
Let's be honest. If Chris and I walk into a hotel, they're not talking to me.
Yeah, they respect him.
They're talking
true.
to him.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
They look at
You
me
know
and they're like, "This guy's homeless," and I'm like,
They're
You know what the-
concerned.
You know what the magic is? I think the best part about a wardrobe is cologne. Like if you got the right,
"Yeah, we've
smell-
noticed."
Yeah.
He's got like
Mr.
Ron
Musk.
Burgundy's
Yeah.
like situation.
Sex Panther.
in there. Yeah, totally. It's illegal.
60%
It's
of the time,
illegal at
it
night.
works every
totally. yeah.
It
smells like
how much is
diaper
okay, somebody-
covered with burnt hair.
in 2012, it was like I was on a hot streak. I kept getting bottles of cologne from people, and they all gave me bottles of Creed. I had 4 bottles of Creed
Creed.
in 2012.
What's Creed?
It's like a UK cologne, high end, and with inflation, they've gone up.
Is it toilet water or is it?
No, it's parfum.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean it's the real deal. And I had 4 bottles of it, and I still have all 4 of those bottles, and I've had them for now 11 years.
Is there still like stuff?
Oh
in them?
yeah, and I'm wearing it now.
What does Creed smell like?
Are you wearing it right now?
It
Presently?
smells like somebody
now.
that listens to Creed.
No.
Where do you put your cologne when you put it on?
Won't
You- I think-
take me higher?
Somebody gave me advice one time, and I don't know how true it is, but they said the places that your best spots to put cologne is where you sweat the most or perspire.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So where do you put it?
Because like,
I sweat like usually around. I put it here, and then I put it on my
Yeah.
like around this area. Yeah,
Higher.
and
Sing it, Abby.
yeah.
won't you take me higher? I don't know. I don't
Okay,
even know the
so
song.
so here's the
Just
deal.
the chorus.
Here's the deal. Do you spray and then walk into the mist?
But I hold it at a distance.
Do you know what I do?
What?
7 pumps
7?
all over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
But it must be a light perfume then.
Yeah, it's probably I don't know.
It's not musky.
It's that no, it's like that tobacco leather. I got
Oh.
I got one that's like smells like leather. I just want to smell like English
Ron
leather.
Burgundy.
I want to smell like Ron Burgundy. I want to smell like my dad smelled like in the 80s.
I want
That
to smell
smells
like what I
good.
imagine Matthew McConaughey smells like.
Exactly.
Sweat.
Speaking of which, we used his Interstellar song a lot on the meme page.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that was great.
I saw that.
Bum, bum.
I want to smell like John Wayne.
So
Leather and cigars.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Leather and cigarettes.
Leather and cigarettes.
Leather and stale cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, tobacco and leather. That's what a man should smell like. And I'm not a smoker. The Lord set me free. I actually got delivered from smoking. I didn't quit. I got delivered.
I was there.
Involuntarily.
No. Yeah, I went forward to an altar call at a youth camp, and they were like, "Okay, guys, you know,
Cast it out of you.
yeah, bring up your Marilyn Manson records, black lipstick, cigarettes,
Fishnet stockings.
Magazines.
Actually, I'm telling the story of how I actually started smoking. So they had a casket, and all the kids were bringing all their things up. I went up to the casket, and I just started to take some stuff out.
Free cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly. I got a pack of free smokes up
No,
there.
the
Players Light regular.
the-
We're
Pastor-
smoking and drinking for free this week.
The youth pastor would take the casket and put it out in the church office like he's at the dentist office and it's the treasure chest.
Yeah, in ours, we filled at our church, we filled up a big oil tank and then welded it shut.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Of contraband?
yeah, like all the stuff that people were surrendering to God.
Right.
Somebody put their child in there.
Of course they did.
It's actually still in there.
They got confused with a baby dedication
Amish.
and surrendering their sins to God.
And the Amish make that mistake quite often.
They said,
Well,
they
we
said,
have 14 of these, and soup's been getting a little thin.
soup's been getting a little thin.
Martin family put another baby in the tank again. Oh, Jeremiah. Oh, we left him at the church. We thought that maybe Pastor Steve would like
I
to have
just
him.
can't churn the butter fast enough these days.
Jiminy. We live in an area in Ontario. It's similar, like well, this is where we grew up, but it's similar to Pennsylvania, where you were in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in the place where we live, there's this area,
Mennonite
and the Mennonite, like old order, is what they're called.
and Mexican Mennonite.
Yeah.
And then,
And they like literally they drive horse and buggy down the roads.
Oh,
Chris,
Amish, yeah.
Chris,
Cool.
you've
It's
probably
like
seen them.
it's
I saw him at like midnight driving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Walking his horse.
Yeah.
Guy walking his horse at midnight.
it's all out. It's all over Southern Ontario though.
yeah, yeah, totally. It's all over Southern Ontario.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
like if you go all the way up to like Owen Sound, they're still there. Like outside
Yeah.
of Waterloo, all the way
yeah,
up.
and their farms are always green.
Yeah,
Their houses are always green and white.
yeah. Like Anne and Green
Yeah,
Gables.
so true.
Yeah, and they wear
Clarence.
dresses that are made of the curtains. You know, just like
Yeah.
Sound of Music, and they have these St. Jacob's markets, and you can go and you can buy like Amish food. And the Amish always they have maple syrup that they make in their things, and
Yeah.
you can they're reliable. If you ever needed summer sausage or maple
yeah.
syrup, they got you.
Noah Martin summer sausage.
Yeah.
dude. Like our mall where we grew up has a buggy station.
A stable
they
or
have
like
that.
a, yeah.
They had that.
Yeah,
But
it's
this-
pretty wild.
Amish products are.
You know what's not fair?
Amish-
My bone to
Amish
pick
furniture,
with
yeah.
Mennonites is that they don't have to pay for insurance and they cause a lot of car accidents
Yeah, they
on
do.
the back roads.
Yeah, I do.
It's pretty dangerous to be in those buggies
Well, yeah, but it's also dangerous to us.
because Canadians drink and drive.
So do Mennonites.
Yeah, but they're not.
Totally.
But the horse is
So
driving.
do Mennonites.
It's true. Yeah, they're like, I get home. So the Mennonites in Canada, they're not really well represented by Letterkenny, the show, the Canadian
they
show.
butchered
No.
They
that.
butcher it because and it's just the problem is that Jared can't do everything.
Yeah.
And so he's hired. Jared is actually from like the main guy.
Listowel.
Yeah, he's from Listowel, a town that we're like next town over, and he knows like
The
he would.
jocks.
Yeah, he'd know
The Hicks.
totally. And Amish, there's a lot of Amish kids that went to LDSS, but
Yeah.
but they Jared would be able to do the accent, but the problem is he's got all these Canadians that are acting in his shows, and they don't know. They're not from the area, and so they don't
They're
know
not even all Canadian either.
totally
They're from everywhere.
Totally, and so these people try to put on an Amish accent, but it's like
They did the wrong
Yeah.
sect.
Amish accents are
Yeah.
like they're like Irish.
They're borderline Irish.
yeah, yeah. Holy,
It's
call it
a
clarity.
mix. It's a mix between like a Minnesotan
yeah,
Yeah.
and
that's right.
an Irish.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
That's bang
Yeah.
on.
yeah. And they speak their own language, Pennsylvania Dutch, I think is what they call it. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
German, some
Low
sort of
low German.
low German, yeah. But they're like they talk like this, and they're Vern. He's gonna help you. He's gonna be putting the carb up on the hoist, and
On
we'll
the-
take a
put it on
look
the
at
hoisty.
it. Oh yeah, we have acres and acres to mow today. And they're all
How
they're like they never go past like a third grade education,
when they go
particularly the men.
and they buy cell phones and then when they're saying
the girls are in high school though, which is interesting.
the girls are in high school.
Yeah, we had Amish girls in high school.
I didn't go.
I think they go to
School
college too.
Dang.
But but maybe the old orders don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're just
Probably
turning butter for Vern.
Tiff sold a phone to a Mennonite and they were like trying to figure out how much storage it had. And he's like, it had like 500 gigs or something. He's like, oh, it's got acres and acres. Storage. Acres and acres.
Acres and acres.
What did it, going to buy something from a Mennonite? He's like, hey, how's your day? He's like, oh, sun's out. It's time for hay. I'm tickled pink.
Gonna go some choring.
Yeah, it's a good day.
I'm tickled pink. That's right. Yeah, they're pretty they're good for pies too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Great
they're good
pies.
for they're good for pies, but I'll tell you this.
good for fritters.
They they're hard to understand.
Yeah, they can be.
Yeah, they can be hard to understand.
Their
Yeah.
I googled how much a buggy cost between 5 and 10 grand.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, they probably don't. They probably don't pay for them though. They make
look-
them themselves.
They look,
Well, they're rich too. They have tons of cash.
Oh yeah,
they look really well made.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
they're liquid.
yeah, yeah. They don't have property payments.
Yeah. Don't have insurance.
Don't have insurance.
Yeah, they've been on the same property for 200 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like there was a tornado at Home Style Flavors and the roof got torn off and they don't have insurance. So they all got together and built the barn back.
Yeah. Takes a day. to build a new house.
It's a guild.
Barn day.
Nice.
Yep.
Barn day.
Barn day.
Oh yeah, and they have churches, and you see their old order churches. You'll be driving around the highway, and you'll see an old order church. It's always got two things. It's got those horse, wooden,
Stable type things.
horse things that you tie your horses to, and it's got a baseball field.
Yes. Yeah, they always have a small baseball field. It's
Tiny
true.
rickety fence.
The Amish
Yeah.
love baseball and volleyball. During the summer, you'll
Yes.
see like 20 Amish girls
Oh,
playing volleyball.
And badminton. They play badminton too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Baseball.
That's so true. Why baseball? It's always baseball.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody 150 years ago was like, "What if we played this game with the ball and the stick?
I'm gonna be honest though.
Will the Lord hate us?"
In the summertime, a game of softball is like the funnest thing you can do. Softball. I actually might join a softball league.
Oh, like a beer league.
I used to play.
We actually, you know,
I played
We
beer
should.
We should-
I'll join a beer league.
we should
I
actually.
actually
be
really
fun.
enjoy
we could-
baseball.
I used to have a team in Michigan that played in the summers called the Goodfellas. It was the funnest thing in the world. with
Yeah,
all
I
my
played for
friends.
Crossroads Flames.
Wasn't it fun?
Yes, I love it. I love
It
it.
was flaming.
Should
Flaming.
Should we?
I'm so in. I'm in. Let's
Really?
join a league.
All right.
Flaming.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's join a league.
Let's make a team.
Yeah, and gigs. Let's do
yeah,
it.
we could actually do a team.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's just do a team.
That would be hilarious.
Do a sign up,
Christian, Matthias. Oh, that's true. We'll just sign up.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's
That would be
genius.
That would be hilarious.
What position? I'll take third.
I'll take short.
I'll
Can you-
be. I can be first.
I'm gonna be a DH.
Can you catch good?
I can catch good.
Who pitches?
That's the tough part on.
I'm actually a
softball.
decent
Actually,
pitcher.
Matthias as well.
Matthias could. Yeah, I could pitch.
And if you, the way that softball works,
I can't underhand.
No,
do you pitch to
it's
yourself?
lob. It's lob.
No, I can only overhand.
Yeah, but
No, I'm serious. I can't softball pitch, but I spent
I believe that because you
But
can't because you can't bowl.
Yeah,
Your
you
life-
suck
I
at
spent
bowling.
in
I
soft-
spent so much time in that gym at Koinonia with David, and he would just pitch balls,
right.
and he taught me how to pitch balls. So
Yeah.
I can pitch fastball, but I can't do softball.
in rec league softball, if you walk a person, if it's co-ed, or if you walk a person, they take two bases. They automatically go to double. So if you are a bad
You need a
pitcher,
good pitcher.
you have to have a really good pitcher who knows how to get the ball over the plate in the strike zone, and that's not easy. The pitcher's your most valuable guy. When
Or-
our pitcher was gone, like he couldn't come to the games, we were done.
Have you played the league where you pitch to yourself? We did that for a little bit too.
Yeah, those are good too.
Yeah, because
Oh,
then
yeah.
you're just basically getting beef balls.
What is it?
Yeah.
3.
But that's the whole, but beer league is beef balls. So
Oh, that's 3 pitch.
Yeah, three pitch.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
three pitch
they
is
want
fun.
you
Yeah.
to give just a
This is
nice
home run
easy-
derby.
Yeah, exactly.
crushing.
Dude, 3 pitch is fun.
Yo, let's play.
Absolutely.
This is gonna be good.
I'm so in.
That would be fun.
I need
Frank-
something to look forward to
yeah,
on a Thursday night.
I used to,
yeah.
On a thirsty
Well,
Thursday.
in the summertime when I was moving furniture, like for my summer job, Friday games were the only thing that got me through the week. Like knowing they were coming, because you get double headers. You'd get like a 7:40 and 8:50, and it'd be late night, and you play under the lights, and nothing beat that. Nothing.
Yeah, that's magic, man.
Yeah, it's good.
That's magical.
That's a good vibe.
Cool.
Actually, speaking of sports,
We also need a regular poker game. Just going to throw that in there. Because
I
there's
suck
no
at poker.
there's no place to play poker in Tennessee.
It's too
Do they?
Christian.
They don't have casinos here, do they?
Yeah, it's too Christian.
You have to go up to Kentucky.
yeah,
Yeah,
Kentucky.
Are we going to the Arc experience soon?
we got to do that soon.
Yeah. There's a casino called
Cachino.
There's a casino that's just I think it's in Kentucky Downs or something. It's literally 45 minutes from here. I think it's called I don't know what it's called. The Vault? Is that what it's called?
Casino.
I see ads for it all the time, and Jazzy and I actually stopped there on our way to West Virginia to use the bathroom. I swear, that's all we did. Pastor, if you're listening, we just used the bathroom. I don't.
Mint.
Um,
The Mint.
Gaming.
The Mint. That's what. How far is it from here?
oh yeah,
It is an hour.
Oh, that's not bad.
no, it's not bad.
If you're a
You have
poker
to go
player.
through Nashville.
Yeah, you have to go through Nashville.
Speaking of sports, I got down a little rabbit trail this week, and I'm tired of the discussion of female athletes not being paid as much as male athletes, and it's gender inequality. And I think that's a load of crap, because I don't pay for a sporting event, or I don't follow a sporting team based on their gender. I follow the team based on their ability. And I think it's ridiculous. Okay. Listen to some of these stats. The U.S. women's national team, a championship national team, this is the best female soccer team in the world, was beat by a high school boys soccer team.
Right.
So you're telling me that female soccer players should make as much as male soccer players. The average male soccer player makes like $30 million. You're telling me that based on your skill level, you should be making $30 million. That means that high school boys should be making $30 million.
Based on performance.
Based on performance, which is sports.
Right.
That's what sports is based off of. That's the only thing it's based off of. Listen, dude, listen to this. This is from an article written by Duke Law. Okay. Just in the single year 2017, Olympic world and U.S. champion Tori Bowie's 100 meters lifetime best of 1078 was beaten 15,000 times by men and boys.
Right.
The same is true of Olympic world and U.S. champion Allison Felix's 400 meters lifetime best of 49.26. Just in the single year 2017, men and boys around the world outperformed her more than 15,000 times.
I'll be honest with you. I think I was 12. I was a 12 in the 100-meter dash.
12 seconds? I was a little lower than that.
I think that's the best I ever did.
Right.
And I was like one of the faster kids in our tiny little school.
I was somewhere near 12. 12:05.
We had a guy who did it in 10 flat.
Where in Hamilton or in Norwell?
Yeah. So he would have won the Olympics. He would have won the
female.
Olympic 100 meter dash for female. Yeah. A guy you went to high school with.
Jason Prosser.
In Drayton.
Wow.
Shout out to Jay Prosser.
Dude, it's really interesting you're bringing this
up. He's now the dean of students at Portland Bible College.
I searched this last night. I was watching the tennis open.
And the guy didn't train. He would eat McDonald's and then run a 10.
That's impressive.
I wonder if I could run it in.
The average speed of a male tennis serve is 120. The average speed of a female's is 105.
Right.
So I got thinking last night, back in when sports were starting to become prevalent in culture.
Google Serena Williams, by the way. What was Serena's? Because I think Serena's was pretty fast. I think Serena would hit regularly 115.
Fastest serve?
Yeah, Serena Williams fastest
106
serve.
she averages, but she had her fastest was 128.
Wow.
She had a 128 in 2013. That's
insane.
crazy. Yeah, what's the fastest men's? So her average serve is 106. What's the fastest men's serve ever?
Fastest male.
Nadal's.
Okay.
Oh, that's in kilometers.
You know, it's just a funny.
Oh, there it is. Nadal's fastest serve speed is 138.
Wow. So
Serena had some juice, my guy.
So yeah, wasn't it a lot easier? Okay, so back when tennis was invented, I don't even know the history, but just for example, if a guy was transgender and started playing in the female thing, they wouldn't allow it. Right?
Right.
That would just fall apart really quick.
Yeah.
But now that's not that's what's creeping in.
But it's horrible what it's doing to these poor girls that are trying to get college scholarships
Exactly.
and stuff.
Average male serve speed's 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tennis, 120.
Yeah. Average female is 105.
Now some sports men or rather females, they are going to just for example tennis. Watching female tennis is actually pretty awesome. It's it's an enjoyable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
watching it.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. It's not as obviously it's not as enjoyable as the men's final. I mean, I don't know if that's obvious, but it should be. It should be obvious. It's the men's final is the one that
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's
totally.
holy.
But the female tennis is great. Like right now, the Australian Open's on right now, and we've been watching it. And like I love watching. You know what I mean? But like women's soccer, I'm never, or women's basketball. There's just certain sports I'm just like never gonna. It's not like, and if I had daughters, I'd want them to play sports because they could get a scholarship. You know what I mean? But that would just be because they're my family and I love them and I'd support them. I go to their games. You know what I mean? Like you're just showing interest in your kid. But like outside of that, I'm not going to go ever. You couldn't pay me. Literally, you could not pay me to go watch a women's sporting event aside from tennis.
I actually saw a stat.
The women's golfers are pretty good though.
Yeah, but even that, like they play off the forward tees.
Totally.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's fair.
Yeah.
For
there was
them.
a whole in March Madness last year. There was like a whole campaign on television trying to get guys to watch more women's sports.
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't matter how much you advertise that. They know it exists. If they want to watch it, they're going to watch it.
Well, dude,
But women don't watch women's sports either.
I'm on ESPN Plus, and every time I log on, they say this commercial comes on. Feels like a change is coming, and it does a commercial for ESPNW.
Yeah.
And in that thing, they show a biological male soccer player.
Really?
Oh my God.
I'm
Actually,
like,
dude. Okay. The funniest.
this is so horrible and cruel to these women.
Funniest thing is in this chart, they have like a disclaimer because in this chart there's one number that's like men didn't beat this number, and they have a disclaimer: the 2017 world best in the women's category in the 800 meters was run by an athlete who is widely reported to have testes and T levels in the male range. So the one score that wasn't beat by males was run by a male.
Right.
Exactly. That's so wrong.
It's just and it's honestly I think it's completely dishonest to be like men won't watch women's sports because they're sexist. I'm like, if there was a woman that could actually compete in the NBA to that level, and she was boxing Steph Curry out, I 1000% would watch that.
Right.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't happen.
I'd watch a cat that could box out Steph Curry.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like I would watch dog volleyball if it was better.
Of course, because watching sports is for entertainment.
Yeah.
And a lower skill level is not as entertaining. It's just not.
Yep. But bottom line is, if you're watching women's sports, then
you've got a dog in the race.
You got a dog in the race, exactly.
Yeah.
So like maybe your daughter, and that I respect that. Like that's awesome. And I think that there's a place for women's sports. I'm totally there. You know, like in the same way that there's a place for kids sports.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
There's recreation for everyone.
Totally. But if you're arguing
competition for anyone.
If you're arguing totally, exactly. Every level people should enjoy a sport, right? But if you're trying to argue that like these male professional athletes who are dominant in their field, that women should be able to make the same. It's like, well, the same argument would apply for Little League.
Right.
Well, why can't kids make the same?
Right. He's outperforming all of his people.
Exactly. Why not? Why can't you know what I mean? It's like
the stage and platform is different.
Yeah,
exactly.
High school, like
what are you, an ageist?
Yeah. Dude, like sports analysts like widely agree that a high school boys basketball team could beat the WNBA champions any year.
Yeah. Of course.
So they're gonna start making that money.
Actually, and I'd start watching if they.
I would watch
that. If there was a sport that pitted the best females against high school men's, I would watch that. Just
because you want to see the best person.
Yeah.
It's true.
I saw a poll, and 85% of people would rather find $5 on the sidewalk than have their local WNBA team win a championship.
I'd probably go for the $5 too.
Could you imagine if that's what that was your career? Like that's what you were fighting.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon is the best? What do you reckon is the best female sport?
I think tennis.
Yep, I agree. Tennis.
I enjoy watching golf more than I enjoy watching tennis, and I think.
Oh, I mean, like objectively, there's a few female sports that are better to watch, like high jump, pole vault, long jump, I'm pretty sure the female records are more than the male records.
Really?
I'm pretty sure some of those high
cool.
jump. Yeah. But yeah, tennis is great.
No, I don't think that the female records are higher and bigger in high jump.
I think I saw something in like some track and field records. They actually do compete.
The only thing I could think of that men and women might be similar is it's like gymnastics or. But I think
that's a good point.
Oh,
actually.
true. Yeah, yeah. Female gymnastics is like, yeah.
No, the male high jump is 2.45 meters. Female is 2.09 meters.
That's a difference of 2 feet.
Okay, there you go. I was wrong.
I was gonna say men have a higher vertical, so it's gonna be unfair.
And they have different structure. Yeah.
We actually made a meme about this. I'm looking for it.
Yep.
Did you know guys? Oh yeah, and guys can't get cellulite. I just learned that. Tiff told me girls get cellulite because their things are like a lattice.
The fat is on the outside.
Yeah, the fat is stored on like a lattice.
Yeah.
And so then you can get like cellulite, whereas guys literally have the opposite. Why don't they just do that testing?
What do you mean?
Like, if I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, we're the same.
Yeah, basically, men and women are built completely different.
Exactly.
Of course.
Like why can't we just have a clear test?
Yeah.
Other than, do you have to go further than the obvious?
Yeah. Exactly.
Are you guys ever afraid of misgendering someone?
I am, and if I do that, I actually apologize.
Do you ever like?
I've done it a couple times, and I've actually just voluntarily said, "Hey, I'm sorry. Did I misgender you?"
And did they respond and say yes?
And once was yes. It's okay though, and they were so chill. And the other time it was like, "No, you got me right. I'm a girl." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like, but I just like I don't go to my way to like dishonor and hurt people.
Right. I guess it has me thinking at stores often. People will say, "Would you like this, sir?" And I'm like, "What if I like that's a ballsy thing to do in this day and age."
Well, sometimes I like go to a store and there's like a very, very flamboyant looking man,
Right.
who's like definitely not trying to be anything but a male, but is like kind of on the verge.
The light in his loafers.
Yeah, and it's just like
A little fruity in his pebbles.
yeah, a little fruity in his pebbles. Yeah, and it's just like it's a knee jerk reaction just to say, "Hey, dude, hey,
Right.
man,"
Right. Or thanks, brother. Yeah.
and it's like I don't know. Sometimes they just like they give you a look because that's like kind of like a masculine way to address a guy.
Yeah.
And like they're not trying to be very masculine. So sometimes I'm like, ah, man, what if I got it wrong and they sued me and I was never allowed at Target again?
Right. Yeah. No, I think like I don't know.
We're setting up funny conversations and
Oh yeah. Follow the AI pastor.
Are we going to be telling people about our bowling outing?
I don't know.
We should tell them, "Hey, Frederick, jump to bowling footage, at least 10 seconds."
What's the soundtrack to it? This?
And that was bowling.
That was fun.
Oh, do we have footage of us picking Chris up at the airport?
Yep. Let's roll it.
Okay, roll it. There he is. There he is.
What's up, brother? Tell him to bring his bag in.
Baggins.
Bring your bag in.
I think.
Is everybody in?
Christopher Palmer.
How we doing? ACP?
Very nice. How many people do we have in here?
We're 6.
Six.
So we went and picked Chris up. I mean, you probably saw it in the footage, but what was going on with you?
should have known I was being recorded.
How did you get your bowling name?
What was his bowling name?
Well, I
Chris has diarrhea.
Oh, you didn't know
What happened to you? I called him a couple days ago. I called him a couple days ago because I just check in on him because I haven't heard from him in a week. So I'm like, how are you? He's like, I'm all right. I'm like, okay. Like, he's like, I haven't been feeling too good. I'm like, what's happening? He's like, oh, I woke up last night in the middle of the night and I like vomited like 4 times. And I'm like, dude, what happened? He's like, oh, we went to some Mexican restaurant and I think like I ate something that just didn't agree with me or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. Well, the next day or 2 days later, we come to like pick him up at the airport and I'm calling him. Calling him. I'm like, where are you?
I think we have the call on.
Do we have the call on the thing?
Yeah, we recorded it.
Okay, great. Anyways.
Do you want to play that, Frederick?
Yeah, play it, Frederick.
11.
Calling Chris Palmer.
The old boy, he's got eyes on you.
Hello.
Hey, where you at?
I am indisposed with diarrhea. I'm hoping that I can get in just a few minutes, man. I got kind of had a little situation on the plane here.
Okay.
Yeah, give me like 5 minutes. I'll come right out.
Okay, just throw your underwear out.
Yeah, almost had to.
Well, it happens to the best of us.
I know, dude. I'm pretty discouraged about it.
Well, obviously, diarrhea happens to people who the Lord is angry with.
It must be all the memes.
Yeah, it must be all the memes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm quite discouraged, but
okay, well, hurry up.
know.
Just hurry up.
All right, man.
Okay, bye.
All right.
There is a certain supplement that
diarrhea since Easter's.
There's a certain supplement that causes these symptoms.
What is it?
No, wait a second.
We're not going to say what it is.
Before I started taking vitamins, and I've never felt healthier. But some of the side effects of all of them, actually, that I looked up, say that it could cause nausea.
Magnesium?
Yeah, and it could cause
diarrhea.
We're not sure which one
Vomiting.
it is. We're not sure which one it is. And then, so I suspect maybe it's those, or maybe it's just I was exhausted entirely.
All right, let me tell you something. Magnesium will give you the runs.
Oh, there you go.
I've been taking magnesium, and you can't go past 400 megs a day.
I take 2.
How much
I think
is in them?
I think they're 200.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah.
Now,
Actually, you know what's funny?
there's 7
Is-
different types of magnesium or 8 different types of magnesium.
Yeah.
And there's 1 or 2 that give you the runs, but there's other ones that don't do that.
Really?
So yeah, you should find those ones.
I will say though.
In fact, I have a thing that I'm going to give you.
Okay.
It's going to blow your mind. It's because certain magnesiums relax your muscles and help you sleep, and you are going to sleep like a child.
The thing about magnesium is
Pooping and crying all night?
I used to wake up every night, maybe, I don't know, 3:34 and just toss and turn. I haven't had that since I started taking supplements.
Cool.
I love it.
So when the best memes come out?
Are you taking those Dr. James Nicolatano supplement cheat sheet?
I think the only ones I'm taking are the super greens and the magnesium. Which one's the Dr. Nicolatano?
He's big on glycine,
I'll just say it like this.
inositol.
I went to go get
I have all of them.
I went to go get a lineup, and my barber was telling me he looked like a different guy, and he just had a lot of energy, and he was locked in. So I said, Josh, man, you look different, man. He was like, man, it's just I've been getting my health together, and it started with the supplements. So he gave me a list, like B12, just basic daily vitamins and stuff. He gave me a list, and he said, just give it 10 days. Just take them. So I went to Sprouts, got them, and within I think 3 days, my focus just, boom, was locked in.
Are you still taking that focus stuff?
Yeah, it's
is
great.
It B12? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like a B12 compound, and it causes you to just focus.
Do you want to hear about my B12
Yeah.
story? So it was Everett's 21st birthday.
Yeah, my 21st birthday in Vegas.
Yeah. So we were recording an album in LA somewhere, and we were like, oh, it's his 21st birthday, and so let's go up to Vegas. So we drive up. Brian, you were there too, right?
Yeah.
And I took 2 B12 drinks
Yeah.
With caffeine in
with
them.
caffeine in them.
Caffeine.
And I can't drink caffeine.
Really?
And B12 basically does the same thing as caffeine. And I basically didn't sleep that night. I had panic attacks like you wouldn't believe. My heart was jumping out of my chest. My heart was going like this. It was insane, dude.
It was
war so bad.
There's times where, like, when I'm studying or reading, I'll read a paragraph like 6 times and not understand what it means. Just kind of slog through it. No. Or you're able to take words that, like, there'd be times I couldn't remember words, stuff I should know, people's names, terminologies, and just struggle through basic talking about things.
Okay, here's we'll put this to the test.
Yep.
I had a question. We're preparing the next lesson for Theos Bible Kids, and we're doing Genesis. We're writing the song, and we're trying to get just some of the themes of Genesis 4 through 10. There's a scripture in Genesis 8, verse 1, and it says, the Lord remembered Noah and the animals were on the boat. What does that word mean, remembered? Does it mean that God forgot?
Chris, you.
I think
Anthropomorphic language.
Yeah, I don't think
which means
I don't think that he considered,
or does it more so mean like God was like focused on? God remembered how, like,
so basically, there's anthropopathic and anthropomorphic. Anthropopathic, I think, is the word I'm looking for. But anthropopathic is essentially it's human language that describes human emotions. And there's 2 authors of the Bible, right? There's the divine author, who's the Holy Spirit, and then there's a human author. So the human author is trying to say in his terms, because these guys wrote of their will and of the Holy Spirit's will, right? So like Moses is going, I want to communicate this, or this is, I don't know necessarily how. There's a lot of theories about how Genesis or the we could get off on a rabbit trail here. A lot of theories on how it would have been put together, whether it be pericope that was sort of, stories on napkins essentially that were oral tradition that Moses eventually kind of tied together. But long story short, the human authors are trying to tell a story. And so they're going, God remember, or God,
like changed his gaze? Or,
no, it's just like God
recounted?
God did this thing. And they're telling the story as kind of like, God didn't forget, if that makes sense, the promises that he made to Noah. So God remembered.
Or like pulled out of his memory.
No.
Focus?
No. See, sometimes when you look at that language, like Nate's saying, you press the language too hard. Just because it says remember, it doesn't necessarily mean it's attached to memory.
It's like he forgot.
Right. It's not the case.
Right.
Or that it went out of conscience. It's basically, he considered him. God knows he has his man down there, and God knows he's on a boat, and there's all this dramatic.
But the question is, why would the human author use that word?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of...
Right. And the point is that the human author isn't trying to say that God forgets. They're just trying to say, it's just a way, it's anthropopathic language. It's like,
it's like recalled to their mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of
yeah. God was like, I got you. And it's just a poetic human way of saying that. And like, that's the mystery of Scripture, is that, you've got 2 authors. You've got the divine author and you've got the human author. And the human author is obviously going to be using,
what they've got.
Human language, exactly. And they're going to be, does that make sense, Chris? What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to exactly. And again, as readers, sometimes we press the language too hard because we think that remember has to always mean it's your memory, or I forgot,
right?
Or it implies I forgot.
And I wasn't trying to overread it. I was just trying to go, oh, that's an interesting word that was used there. Like,
why do we press the words too hard, Chris?
Because I think sometimes we have this ultra literalness sometimes about reading Scripture that comes from maybe perhaps study methods that we learn in the very beginning, right? For instance, we are probably focused on hashing up or dividing up words in the grammatical way of looking at things. So I think with that, we come to Scripture with it and think that we always have to make the most of every word. For instance, Revelation chapter 10, I'm working through right now, and there's this instance where the angel, and he calls out to heaven, and he hears 7 claps of thunder, and from the thunders there's a voice, and John goes to record the language, and then he's told not to record the language, and it's kind of like this. Well, is he supposed to? How do you record something that? Let me pull the verse up here.
He had Logos already open.
I was working through this today. So it said he had a little scroll open in his hand, and he set his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land. It's talking about the angel, and called out with a loud voice like a roaring. When he called out, the 7 thunders sounded. And when the 7 thunders had sounded, I was about to write, but I heard a voice from heaven saying, seal up what the 7 thunders have said, and do not write it down. So seal it up, but don't write it down. So what do you mean by sealing it up? Yeah. but don't write it down. So how are you supposed to seal it up? Which seems like it's saying like record it somewhere, but don't write it down.
Right.
So what do you do with that?
That's like from Daniel.
It's alluding to it alludes. Well, the angel's alluding to Daniel.
Remember, in Daniel is like, this is all sealed up,
Yeah, it's so.
and it's like, well, what does that mean? Like,
So if you press,
you just gave this prophetic literature, but we don't. We're not supposed to know what it means.
yeah, so if you really press it too hard, you can't really rectify what it means to seal it up, but then to write it down, but don't write it down.
That's interesting.
So what I would say is that it's the big idea behind it.
Yeah.
And the big idea behind it is that there's certain things that John heard that he's not supposed to tell. And that's how I would say that. So you can get caught up, if you get caught up sometimes on the ultra splitting hairs over words, which we sometimes teach people to do,
Right.
and grammatical language. Like the Word of Faith movement is based on this. That's why they don't want to get rid of the KJV. Because for she said, I mean, that is their whole, Mark chapter 4, Mark chapter 5, where the woman comes to the sick and the woman comes to Jesus and she says, like, that's where it's all hinged on. The minute that you change some of that language a little bit based upon what you're allowed to on how language works, maybe it's not there as exactitude anymore. And if your doctrine is based upon something that split that finely, you have trouble. So you get to this passage where God remembered Noah. Maybe it's just talking about the faithfulness of God. God was faithful to Noah. God was faithful to his promise. God had told Noah, hey, you're going to be put on the ark and I'm going to be faithful to you. So to me, if you get the idea of faithfulness to Noah, no matter what language that you're using.
Okay, NT, right?
What?
No, that's good. That was the main thing we took from it too.
You're saying faithfulness way too much.
I think yeah, right. I think
It's the theme of the thing.
No, totally. So in Daniel, I can't remember what this is, but this part, go your way, Daniel, for the words are shut up and sealed until the time of the end. Right? And it's like, but you just wrote all this stuff. Do you know what I mean?
It's like Jesus doing miracles and then saying, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this doesn't make this is counterintuitive. It's like, I was reading through Daniel because I'm doing the shred right now, and I'm reading through Daniel yesterday, last night, on the treadmill at the gym,
Nice.
which is where I've been doing some of my reading recently. And I'm reading Daniel, and I'm trying to do the math. I'm like, where are we on the timeline? You know what I mean? Like,
dispensationally.
who is the then there's going to be one world government, and then there's going to be 10 worlds, and then there's one of the kings is going to defeat three
Jeff
of the
Bezos?
kings. Who is the one who's defeated the three kings? You know what I mean? Like, and so you're like, doing the math, and you're kind of like, and I'm allowing my brain to go there the way that other people's brains would go there, not because I'm trying to figure it out, but to try to get my head in the head of the dispensationalists and people that read scripture that way, right?
Right.
So I'm kind of just okay, what is happening in the world, and blah, blah, blah. And then I come to that verse and it says, but this is all sealed up.
Let me point something out. This is what I suspect.
No kidding, it's all sealed up. So it's like he give Daniel. My thought is, Chris, help me out with this, but is the idea that here is a map, and it's sealed up, and it's not going to make sense until it needs to make sense. What do you think of that?
I think I think it's classic apocalyptic. There are certain things in apocalyptic that we know, okay? But in apocalyptic, in the genre, there are certain things that God tells the seer, but the seer is not supposed to tell the people. And that's just how the genre was written. And that establishes the authority of the seer sometimes in the audience's mind, that he knows something, and God's not going to tell everything. And in the narrative in Revelation, I think that there are certain things that are revealed, and there are certain things that God could reveal, but he keeps it, and that, at least for the Revelation narrative, forces us to trust in God's processes along the way. Now, what I suspected is that when you see in Genesis chapter 8, kind of what Nate's talking about with the big picture. So in Genesis 8:1, God remembers Noah, right? But that language, qual in the Hebrew, is going to be used again and again and again in Genesis. So God remembers Noah. Then God remembers Abraham. Then God remembers Rachel. Then God remembers...
God remembered Hannah.
God remembered Joseph.
Yeah.
So
totally.
Yeah, and then we go into the Exodus and we see the same thing, that God remembers the generation. So again...
It's a theme.
It's a theme not of, I have to remember because I'm forgetful, but it's a word being used for faithfulness here along the way. I just taught Pentateuch, and that was one of the big pictures, is that you see how it begins with the fall of man with Adam, and then immediately after that, mankind goes into this violent state. Things get worse. God destroys the earth, and in destroying the earth, you see that as soon as Noah gets off the ark, he sins, and then it's not long before he has to destroy the Tower of Babel because mankind is back to it again. So the point is that, and then in calling Abraham, they sin again. So
it's a Hebrew colloquialism for faithfulness.
Yeah, because it's
just like we use words all the time that are like, if you thought about it literally. So for example, in 200 years from now, when people are like trying to figure out our conversations, and you say, "Oh, that's wicked," people will be like, they were doing bad things.
Yeah,
like,
or
no,
like,
we were using it.
and it
Yes.
and it establishes that because
no caps,
no cap.
And it
What
establishes
the
that,
heck is he saying?
It established that because no matter what happens, whether it be through a flood, that doesn't rid man of his sin or the original fault. Even in calling a patriarch out, they show the failings of Abraham and his family, because even in being called, that can't do it with the sin problem. So what is it that actually gets? What is it that continues to allow the Genesis story to go forward all the way into Christ? Is God's faithfulness.
Right.
I know that's kind of NT Wright-ish, but I think NT Wright gets it right in this area.
Somebody asked me today, do you think that NT Wright, whose side are you on? The Reformers or NT Wright in terms of what Theosu means? Right. And I'm like, I'm with whatever Chris says.
Well, that's all going to be back. I would say this: nobody's allowed to enter that discussion unless you know the difference between an objective and subjective genitive, because that's where it all hinges.
I'm out.
That's
the Theosu.
Yep, the faithfulness of God. Is it an objective genitive or is it a subjective genitive? You take it one way or the other, you're going to say it either means me being faithful to God or God being faithful to me.
Right.
And that is why it's going to keep going on and on and on. And the way that like Heiser might say it is that it's the bucket that we put things in that are going to continue to keep getting discussed and discussed. And actually, we have in our Theos Seminary first paper, they have to talk about how Paul understands righteousness in the book of Romans. So when they first enter seminary, they're already getting their feet wet with the Theosu conversation, because they're going to come, if they're going to study Romans and hang with Wright and E.P. Sanders or David Campbell, they're going to have to contend with that. And it's not an easy discussion.
I love it. Okay, we're going to head to the post show. I'm going to ask you guys a question about AI.
Great.
See you there.
Grapes.